Hey guys, so I am on a new laptop. My old one died a couple months after I bought it. I'm not sure what's going on. But today I was up early in the morning watching the news with my mom because I'm still on vacation. I'll be on vacation until the 23rd. And there was a there was a dance performance. I guess it was for Dancing with the Stars going on tour. And I was watching the performers and I was really enjoying their performance and I'm just like, man, I used to ballroom dance. I loved ballroom dancing. Ballroom dancing was my favorite activity in middle school. Like that to actually do it was my favorite activity. Going to the class, I hated going to the class. I I did not enjoy school for a very long portion of my life. Um, Elementary school was fine. K through fourth, no, K through third grade, I was fine. I was living with my sister in another part of the Bronx, and eventually I had to come home and live with my mom. She put me in a school across the street from the house, and at this school, I was picked on, and I'm not 100% sure why, but I was picked on. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I did stupid stuff in elementary school to try to have friends, but I did stupid things to my mom. I didn't do stupid things to other people. And there was there was like five kids who gave me hell in elementary school, like my senior year of elementary school. They gave me hell. They put me through the ringer. They called me names, threatened me, and I wasn't 100% sure what I had did to them to warrant, you know, that kind of treatment. And it didn't stop because the middle school I went to for a year was right upstairs. It was right upstairs from the elementary school, and it got worse. Um, my teacher was absent, and when my teachers are absent, I'm generally received as a good student. I am respectful to teachers. I am respectful to staff, even the substitute teachers. I do the work that was left for us so I don't get in trouble, so I don't have to do it later. And then I read. And people didn't like that. We would have substitutes, and the first thing they would my classmates would say is like, you better shut up, you better not snitch, you better not go to the principal and tell them that we're misbehaving or anything. But something I have to understand, the room that I was in for middle school was not even a full wall. Like there was a wall, but there was an opening right on top. So like here's where the wall stopped, and then the next classroom's on the other side. And it gets to the point where if that teacher stepped out and my teacher was absent, the kids would like they would throw shit over the wall, and people could have gotten hurt. Um, but they're like, well, don't tell nobody. You better not go get the principal. You better not go get security. Oh, we're gonna jump you and blah 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 blah. And I for somebody who lives across the street from the school, I was scared shitless because there was a lot of stairs. I was heavier than what I am now, or should I say, I could not carry my weight as well as I did. I could not carry my weight as well as I do now. So I cannot run fast. I can't fight for shit. I mean, I'm a little better at defense, but I really couldn't fight for anything. Um, my mom couldn't help me. My mom is elderly, so she couldn't do much, and my sisters all lived away from the house, so nobody could come get me. The security would escort me. Well, not escort me so much as they would wait for the area to clear out and then watch me till I walked back to my plaza, and then my mom was waiting in the lobby for me to get home. It got so bad. At one point, I was locked in the closet in the classroom when we had a sub, and the sub had to let me out. There was three specific kids. I'm not gonna name names, who did a lot of verbal teasing, and then there was a bunch of kids who did like a lot of threatening. And there was one point where one of my teacher was absent for a few days, so we had a substitute for a few days, and they went at my desk. They grabbed my notebook. They destroyed my diary because I couldn't leave my diary at home. My brother loved to go through my diary. Couldn't leave my diary at home. They went through my diary. They ripped it up. They destroyed my things. They drew dicks on everything, like pages, notebooks, and my desk, on my desk. Everything was just defiled. Somebody took my sneakers. My sister had just gotten me these pair of sneakers, and I'm not much of a sneakerhead. I don't really care for brands, but I remember these sneakers because these were the nicest sneakers I had owned at the time. Blue and orange Nike sneakers for gym, and I had went to go and change back into my school shoes, my dress shoes for school, and my sneakers were gone. I couldn't find my sneakers, and I was very upset. I checked the bathroom, I checked all around the locker room, and somebody was like, "Well, why don't you go check the toilets again?" But like, I didn't look in the toilets. Like, who would throw sneakers in toilets? These girls threw my sneakers in the toilet, and the toilet had piss, and it had shit, and it was I could not wear my sneakers again. I couldn't wear them again. And on top of that, they took my dress shoes. So not only did I have no sneakers, I had no dress shoes, and it was snowing. I didn't have footwear to wear back to my building. Even though it wasn't that far, it's still cold. Too cold for me to be walking back to school barefoot. So the secretary at the school was nice enough to give me a pair of her shoes for me to walk home in. And then I brought them back to her the next day. After that, my mom transferred me out of that school and put me in another school, a school for leadership and journalism, which didn't stay that way after the first year. Um, and things were okay for a minute, and then shit started there. Um, people having snide remarks. I'm not much of a people person. I really don't like talking to other people. So at lunch, I'll sit by myself. If the class is having a party, I'm sitting by the door waiting for the party to be over so I can go home. And there were a few girls who constantly picked on me. They teased me a lot, and they would constantly antagonize me. So, my mother told me never to throw the first punch, but to always give the last one. And like I told you guys, I can't fight. So I really tried not to throw any punches. But they would tease me and pick on me. And what sucked is that most of those girls were way smaller than me. I am a big girl. I'm fat. There's nothing around it. I was fat back then, and I'm still big now. Um, these girls were like skinny mini. I could sit on them and break them. And they just constantly teased me. And then when I finally, got up to defend myself, they started screaming and, pick on somebody your own size. Why don't you pick on somebody your own size? So that went on for 3 years for the rest of my time in middle school. But it wasn't just, let me not jump around. Let me keep going with the students. Ballroom dancing. My school had a ballroom dancing program that only the seniors could take part in. And I saw the performance they had the year before, and I thought it was amazing, and I wanted to be a part of it. But the dance teacher had a problem with me. I'm going to give her the satisfaction of saying her name, and I really don't care if she sees this or not. Um, she didn't like me. She did not like me. For what reason? I don't know. I mean, I kind of more or less gave her somewhat of a reason way after the fact, but um, we were in the ballroom dancing class, and there was one more girl than there were boys, so somebody was going to be without a partner while we practiced. But it wasn't supposed to be the same person. It was supposed to be different people. I don't know why this was a universal thing at the school, but it seemed like nobody liked me at all. Like, I don't know who sent out an email saying, We don't fuck with IKEA, so don't fuck with her. But somebody must have, because nobody wanted to dance with me. Nobody wanted to be my partner. Um, we had to rotate partners, and the boys would literally skip over me to go to the next female. And that does not make me feel good at all. I always had to dance with an imaginary partner, with the exception of when the teacher actually did make somebody dance with me. But I could see that they obviously didn't want to dance with me. They wanted to dance with somebody else. And I didn't mind my imaginary partner because at the time Twilight had just came out. So my imaginary partner was Edward. My dance partner was Edward, and I was content. Um, until the day of the recital. We had to perform, and not a lot of people showed up, but my mom came. My mom doesn't come to a lot of school events that aren't graduations. She comes to graduations. She barely came to parent teacher conferences, but she's not able to do all that. So for her to come to my dance recital, I was really excited. And I got to dance for a minute, but I had to cut out because somebody had to cut back in. Somebody had to cut in. And, this wasn't, oh, well, I'm going to pick certain dancers and then, the rest of you guys, thanks for taking part in class, but, you just aren't good enough. Like, no, we all had to participate. And I had to cut out. I had to give this girl time to dance so her mom or whoever came to see her could see her dance. And, the dance was over and they bowed and I'm waiting to come back in, and she didn't move. She didn't move. She stayed right there, and I told her, it's my turn to cut out. And she's like, no, fuck you. And I'm looking at the teacher, and she's looking at me like, don't you dare make a scene. And I see my mom and aunts, and I'm just like, I'm not going to make a scene. I'm not going to make a scene. I'm not going to make a scene because I know I don't want to embarrass my mom. I don't want to embarrass my mom, and I don't want to get in trouble. So I waited. Eventually, I got back in, but the fact of the matter is that you deliberately cut me out of the dance I was supposed to do, the dance that I was set to do, because you want to be a bitch. And once I was happy that was over. I missed dancing, but I was so happy that was over. I had issues with the teachers at the school too. And I'm not going to say all the teachers because a great deal of the teachers actually liked me. I think that's kind of where my problem lied. But there was one teacher, I'm not going to say her name, Hispanic teacher. She could not stand. I feel like she couldn't stand me. There was one point where I was texting class. We were reading The Telltale Heart, a story that I had already read because I loved Edgar Allan Poe. And I was bored, so I was texting the cute boy in the classroom next door. Granted, his English was horrible. I thought he was funny, so I was texting him under the table. My thing was on silent, and I don't know when she saw me, but she stormed over and snatched my phone. And where's my phone? Fuck it, I'll use the iPod. She was like, "You think I'm stupid?" Like all over my face, like, "You think I'm stupid?" And then even afterwards, she pulled me over and she's like, "You think I'm stupid? I can't. You think I didn't see you on your phone in class? Like you're so disrespectful." Like it was disrespectful. I'm not sitting here saying that it wasn't disrespectful, but why are you in my face? Why are you going to the phone? Like you're gonna hit me with the phone. My oldest sister had to come get it. Like usually this isn't the sister that usually handles these kind of things. My sister that I lived with is the one that usually comes to the school to handle these situations. But my oldest sister came to the school, so I told her what happened. I told her I was texting in class. I wasn't supposed to be texting in class, but I did. But the teacher was like, bringing the phone in my face, like she wanted to use it, like she wanted to hit me with it. What? No, Kia, why are you lying? I didn't do any of that. I didn't say any of that. Yes, the fuck you did. And then, we had a senior day. We had a senior day where we went to Van Cortlandt Park, and I hate the walk to that park, but we went to Van Cortlandt Park, and everyone's having a good time and playing, and then we had lunch. Now, you were supposed to bring something for everyone to have. My mom did not have money at the time to give me to get something to give out. Like, my mother did not have money to give away. And so I didn't bring anything. I didn't have anything to bring. But I ate. You know, the whole if you didn't bring, you didn't eat rule wasn't taught to me yet. So the teacher is like, she's thanking everybody for coming, for, bringing food, having a good time. And I'm so glad that most of you brought food, although some of you didn't. Like, really? And like, I can't believe some of you guys are eating and you didn't bring anything. And I'm just like, how disrespectful can you be? It's not like I have a choice. I don't have money. I was like, what, 12? I don't have money to bring things to eat. And my mother didn't have the money to give to me so I can make something like everybody else's parents did. Because everybody else bought soda or chips or batelos or things like that. I didn't have it. And neither did my mom. So, senior year, almost over. We got our autograph books. Everybody's signing everyone's autograph books. The girls that picked on me in middle school were the first ones talking about, well, let me sign your book. Let me sign your book. And, I didn't say no, but I didn't want to catch hell. So I let them sign my book. And then this teacher asked me, could she sign my book? The one that's been giving me all these problems. And I'm just like, I should have said no. But because she was a teacher, because she was an adult, I didn't say no. I said yes. And I let her sign my book. And she was like, oh, dear IKEA, whenever I think of you, I'll have fond memories. Like, the the treatment I got in middle school was so bad. At first, it made me want to do some bad things. First to myself, but then I realized that I was a little too important for that. Then it made me want to do bad things to them because they're obviously waste of space to be treating somebody the way that they're treating somebody. But, nobody's worth going to jail over. And, you know, I get this way when I see people, doing ballroom like dances. So the swing, foxtrot, tango, waltz. Man, I love the waltz because it brings me back. It brings me back to these horrible memories of middle school. I mean, high school was no better. I had a great relationship with one of my teachers who most of the students did not like because he made a lot of anecdotes. I mean, I enjoyed his stories, and he was very, he was the easiest teacher to work with. And all you really had to do was just not be an asshole. So long as you weren't an asshole and you did the work, you had a good chance of passing his class. And there was one girl who had to be number one. She had to be on top. She had to be the absolute shit. And she couldn't stand my ass. And I don't know why, because I was cool with her cousin. I couldn't stand her, but I was cool with her cousin. And, she, would make snide comments. Her and her other cousin, who wasn't really her cousin, they would make snide remarks. And, I was in multiple classes with her. I was in English class with her, and I was in acting with her. So her and her friends would keep me out of this. Like, there was a skit that we were doing where we were like a panel of bug experts. And it was like some kind of lawsuit. And I didn't even notice it. My best friend had to tell me later on. She was like, yo, you didn't notice that they literally kept you out of that. Like, they pretty much said that you were not part of that scene. And I was like, well, no, because I wasn't paying attention. First of all, I'm not an actor. And I didn't care for the teacher teaching the class. But, I didn't even notice until she told me. And she was like, yeah, they were saying that, you weren't with them. You weren't on that team. So you were pretty much by yourself. This girl went out of her way to make sure that, you know, my grade would suffer. She tried to make it so my grade would suffer, even if that meant that she couldn't make the teacher change my grade, but she could bitch about her grade to get her grade higher. This girl bullied for her grades, and she wanted to be number one. But there was one teacher she couldn't bully for her grades. Um, her history teacher, history teacher gave her like a 70 or like a 75, I can't remember. And she was like, well, don't you just hate when all your teachers give you hundreds and then one gives you a 70? And I'm just like, Yeah, I know exactly the one you're talking about, and the one that you're talking about is tough as hell. Like, I'm not sure if this is like, an Irish thing, but I think she was from Ireland or Scotland. One or the other. She had one of those backgrounds, and she was tough as shit. Like, she put her foot down constantly. She was not having any of it. She was just like, she was a no nonsense person. So she wasn't dealing with this girl and her shit. And somebody, and I don't know who, I'm not gonna accuse this female, but somebody actually started a rumor about me and my favorite teacher. Either to try to get him fired or to try to get me kicked out. Either way, it didn't work. First of all, the teacher was tenured, and everybody knows that he he doesn't date American women. He doesn't date American women, so that wasn't happening. Um, but I was worried for him. I wasn't even worried for myself because my family knows the truth. And if I got kicked out, then so be it. But even the principal was like, "IKEA, I know this isn't. I know it didn't happen. I know it's not true. So you can calm down. You can relax. Nothing's gonna happen." I just couldn't take the test outside of the period anymore because he had one class, two different periods. So I would take the test with the earlier class because my class doesn't know how to shut the fuck up during a test. And I would just chill out during the period I was supposed to take it because it was done and I passed because I read. So I still passed. I got like a 90. I got a 99 in one class and a 98 in another class because he doesn't give hundreds. So I was like right there. It drove that girl who tried to who bullied her way for her grades insane. I don't know what on earth I did to deserve all of the bullying I've gone through in my life. My mom says that, people go through things that they don't deserve all the time, and that I'm no exception. And it just means that God has a plan for me. God has a stronger plan for me. But I don't know. You're supposed to be you're supposed to be able to forgive people and, let things go. But, as recently, like not recently, 5, 6, 7, 2 years ago, somebody posted a class picture of me and my class from middle school. It was a class picture, and everyone was commenting on it and like talking about good old times, and I really couldn't stand a good portion of them who were on the page. I I've forgiven people, but I haven't forgotten what's happened to me, and it makes me not want to deal with people ever again. And I realize that that's not going to happen because I have to be a functioning member of society, and to do that, you have to deal with other people. But I have never been anxious for friends. I have never wanted to, pal around with other people because of my experience when I was younger. You know, one bad experience with people will make you not want to deal with people ever again. And it might make you think about doing some things, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it at all. So I just wanted to get that off my chest to anyone who would listen. Pretty much the few fans that I have on Facebook. I know my sister's going to see this. Hey, Angie. I don't need a call. I don't need a text. We don't need a conversation. I just needed to vent. This video probably won't even stay up that long. Don't really see a point putting it up, but I haven't posted up a new video in a long time, so I'm gonna put it up, and I'll see you guys later.